A warm welcome to you all to the 7th RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award ceremony on our annual Founders Day as we celebrate the life of our founder and mentor R.S. Gadgil on his 77th birth anniversary. Purpose, passion, and compassion on one hand. On the other hand, business, marketing, commerce, brands, two sides of really a coin, are perfectly balanced by him through his 5 decades of revolutionary Indian healthcare and marketing era. Fostering relationships with love and care, he earned the most precious wealth of friends, colleagues, and extended family like you all from all over the world. He always had a special place in his heart for the medical fraternity and academics. The medical practitioners too showered him with immense love and respect, and he was held in high esteem amongst 3 generations of doctors. He pioneered continuing medical education in the country and empowered and supported various associations like API, IMA, MAP, ICC, PSI, RSSDI, ASI, IOA, Traumacon, VIROP, and the list is very long. And of course, the doctors in bringing in the paradigm shift in academics by supporting several conferences. His 4 decades of long journey in healthcare started right from penicillin at Hindustan Antibiotics to the towering success at companies like US Vitamins, Alchem, Aristo, Cymera. He became the revolutionary marketing guru of the Indian pharmaceutical industry. Having enormous passion for branding and profound knowledge of science and marketing, he created several top brands like Monosef, Flexon, Glycomed, EcoSprin, Gemcal, Mutacin, Ondem, Doxy-1. The list is endless, and these are really household names today. So I won't take much more time. Instead, would want to share a video on him, which will actually speak for all he has done. He was very well recognized for his training and teaching as well. He's taught not only marketing, management, but also science at various colleges here in Mumbai, like Jawaharlal Bajaj, and a lot of doctors as well as many great corporate leaders have been his students. So let me share this video of RSG and his legend. His thirst and ambition of reducing disease burden, he wanted to actually capture the wisdom and excellence of legends for decades to come. Unfortunately, we lost him as well a bit too soon, but his work and the wisdom and excellence of legends all around the country and the world still needs to be recognized very much and needs to be taken forward very much. So this RSG Wisdom and Excellence Awards are being given every year on his birth anniversary as we celebrate his life instead of mourning it. Having said that, we would really want to go forward with our first RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award of today, and a great gem of a personality whom I have of course heard of a lot from my father himself and his interactions with him and his great work. That is Dr. P.C. Manoria, who is here with us. Sir, a very good afternoon and great pleasure to have you here with us today. I'm actually going to take the proud privilege to introduce you, though I know whatever I'm going to read is really going to fall short of what you are and what you've done. So, yet I'm going to try to make an attempt. Dr. P.C. Manoria is MD, DM, FACC, ESC. Those are his great degrees from India and abroad and fellowships. He's the Director, Manoria Health and Critical Hospital, Bhopal. He's former professor and head of Department of Cardiology, GMC Bhopal. He is honorary physician at Chief Governor of MP. He's past national president, CSI, API, ICC, and past dean, ICP, ICMU, and more. Please bear in mind, these are all national, very, very famous and very, very well-known and associations doing great work in the country. So he's been the national president of these associations. He's been the past chairman, Hypertension Council, Asian Pacific Society of Cardiology, and past vice president, SARC Cardiac Society. He has been awarded Lifetime Achievement Award during the WCCPC 2008 by Bharat Ratna Honorable Shri APJ Abdul Kalam, Special Award in Cardiology by AACIO in 2011 at New Orleans, USA. Mega Multi-Specialty Award during the Multicon 2018, organized by the International Board of Medicine and Surgery, USA 2018. He's Master Teacher Award, Indian College of Physicians 2019. He's also received the Netaji Oration Award, APCON 2002, Award of Excellence in Academics, Alumni, PG, Chandigarh, 97, Dhanvantari Award, CIM Con, 97, and many more. These are just few that we are naming out here. He's organized several national and international conferences for last 40 years. He's pioneered them. He has made a lot of them very, very illustrious. He has organized the World Congress Cardiometabolic Medicine Conference, one of its kind, the first one in 2019 and the second one in 2022. He has edited over 33 books and 74 publications in various Indian and international journals. He has delivered more than 800 lectures in various national and international conferences. So, audience, I really present to you Dr. P.C. Manoria here, and the stage is really going to be his now, as we will request to him to share his pearls of wisdom with us. We all see what he has achieved, but how he has achieved and what will he share with us so that we all are further inspired to follow his path of, I will not just call it success, but a path of actually helping people reduce disease burden and also having a more happier and healthier society. Dr. P.C. Manoria, the stage is all yours, sir. So it looks like uh, we'll probably have to have him join in again here. But meanwhile, that Sir joins back us online, I will take the time out here to uh, share with you more about the RSG Wisdom and Excellence Awards. Sirs, you're back. So I think so over to you for your pearls of wisdom, really, and we're really looking forward to you inspiring us much more. We are aware about your work, but I'm sure the audience will really learn a lot more from you. We can see your slides, sir. The stage is yours.
It's indeed my great pleasure to be a part of this function being organized to celebrate the 77th birth anniversary of the revolutionary healthcare legend, late Mr. R.S. Gadgil. I was very close to Mr. Gadgil, and I still remember when I was the national president of Association of Physicians in India, we organized a conference at Kathmandu, and I just rang up that we are organizing National Epicon at Kathmandu and said, go ahead. He never asked what is the budget, what he wants from us. So he was a great person. Likewise, when we organized the ultrasound conference in Bhopal, I just rang him. We are organizing ultrasound conference at Bhopal, and he never asked question. So his contribution to the medical fraternity was great, and we can never forget it. His devotion to the pharmaceutical industry and the medical profession, his unconditional support to the medical conferences for disseminating the current science in the country has created an everlasting imprint in the minds of the medical fraternity, and those who have seen him will never forget throughout his life. I'm very happy that her daughter, Rajshri Gadgil, founder and CEO, RSG Energy, TRUWELLTH, Integrative Healthcare, Medinex Communications, has created RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award to celebrate late Shri Gadgil birth anniversary every year, and this is his 77th birth anniversary. On this occasion, I would like to give some tips on lifestyle diseases which are rampant in our country. आज के इस प्रतिस्पर्धी और भागम भाग के युग में जल्दी जल्दी आगे चलने की चाह में सेहत बहुत पीछे छूट गई है और जीवन शैली संबंधी बीमारियां बहुत आगे बढ़ गई। यदि हम स्टैटिस्टिक्स पर ध्यान दें तो हमारे देश में हर 3 में से 1 व्यक्ति को हाई ब्लड प्रेशर है, 3 में से 1 को हाई कोलेस्ट्रॉल है, 7 में से 1 को डायबिटीज है और 5 में से 2 धूम्रपान की लत में लिप्त हैं। इतना ही नहीं, हमारे देश में डायबिटीज और हार्ट अटैक 1 दशक पहले आते हैं और इसका मृत्यु दर भी काफी ज्यादा है। तो फिर प्रश्न उठता है, हिंदुस्तानी दिल इतना कमजोर क्यों है दिले नादा तुझे हुआ क्या है, इस मर्ज की वजह क्या है, इस मर्ज की दवा क्या है। इस मर्ज की वजह एक छोटा सा अक्षर एस है। एस का मतलब होता है सैचुरेटेड फैट्स, सॉल्ट, शुगर, स्मोकिंग, स्ट्रेस, स्लीपलेसनेस एंड सेडेंटरी लाइफ। यदि आप इन लाइफस्टाइल बीमारियों से दूर रहना चाहते हैं तो आपको एस से दूरी बनाना चाहिए। और जब तक हम बिगड़ी हुई जीवन शैली पर संज्ञान नहीं लेंगे, हेल्थ इज वेल्थ का मुद्दा परवान नहीं चलेगा, स्वस्थ भारत का निर्माण नहीं होगा। और यदि आप 80 साल तक जीना चाहते हैं बिना इस बीमारियों के, तो आपको 80 का मूल मंत्र अपनाना पड़ता है। 80 का मूल मंत्र होता है वेस्ट 80 सेंटीमीटर्स। हमेशा याद रखिए, यदि आपका वेस्ट बढ़ा तो आपकी लाइफ लाइन घटेगी। वेस्ट लाइन इज योर लाइफ लाइन। ब्लड शुगर 80, डायस्टोलिक ब्लड प्रेशर 80, LDL cholesterol 80, walk at least 80 minutes in 3 days. 3 दिन में कम से कम 80 मिनट पैदल चलिए। We don't recommend alcohol, but those who are taking alcohol not more than 80 ml in 3 days. 3 दिन में शराब का सेवन 80 ml से कम करिए जो कि अल्कोहल ले रहे हैं। 80 meters away from smokers and never smoke. धूम्रपान करने वालों से 80 मीटर की दूरी बनाएं। And this is also very important. Smile at least 80 times in a month. महीने में कम से कम 80 बार मुस्कुराएं। And the most important thing is have relationship with your spouse at least 80 times in a year. अपनी पत्नी के साथ कम से कम साल में 80 बार संबंध बनाएं। And give 80 minutes to yourself. रोजाना 80 मिनट स्वयं को दें। And if you are a patient of 80 milligram aspirin, if you are a patient of heart disease or stroke, take 80 milligram aspirin and 80 milligram Agarwala. यदि आप हार्ट अटैक या लकवा के मरीज हैं तो 80 मिलीग्राम एस्पिरिन एवं 80 मिलीग्राम एटोरवास्टेटिन का सेवन करें। हमें कभी नहीं भूलना चाहिए हेल्थ इज वेल्थ, हेल्थ इज वेल्थ, हेल्थ इज वेल्थ, ना कि वेल्थ इज हेल्थ जैसा कि आजकल ट्रेंड हो रहा है। हमेशा याद रखिए, यदि सेहत गई तो सब कुछ गया। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
सर, क्या हम आपसे कुछ सवाल पूछ सकते हैं?
Yeah, sure.
आपने you have such a illicit career that you've run as a cardiologist. I mean, if you can share a few thoughts also with some of our healthcare fraternity on that, because today again, our younger generation, unlike your generation, we have a lot of competition. We have a lot of past life, so many things that are different, maybe from your generation. But in such a scenario where it's not as easy as earlier, maybe in some terms, but in some terms, because of information technology, we have a lot at hand which is easier. What would be an advice for the health professionals today?
When we recollect our days, say when we are doing DM at the postgraduate institute Chandigarh, there were only 2 residents. We used to work 24/7. We used to sleep there. We had to breakfast there. Our lunch was at 4 o'clock. Dinner sometimes there, sometimes not there. So our life was so tough. We could hardly see any movie in 2 years. And if we ask for a leave, it will be a very bad reaction from the HOD. So those are the days. Now you can see that the residents protest that they don't want to go more than 6 hours and so on. But our generation, you can imagine, all 24/7, we are in the hospital, we are in the duty room, we never go anywhere. So that was the problem, and this has paid a lot. So that although we have been in great stress for those years, but we have learned a lot. And the other peculiar feature of the Postgraduate Institute was that once in 21 days, any registrar or any senior resident, he is working in any specialty, maybe cardiology, nephrology, or any other, he has to manage emergency. He is the boss of the emergency for 24 hours. So you are in touch with general medicine also. People used to protest, I have come here for DM cardiology, why are you pushing me in emergency, where I have to manage poisoning, where I have to manage asthma, where I have to manage all sorts of medical emergencies. But that ultimately also paid a lot, because unless you are conversant with general medicine, you can never be a successful physician or a cardiologist or whatever specialty you are pursuing. So those were the compulsions by Dr. Chutani, who was the director at that time. And that now we realize that must be there, but that I don't know whether it's still there or not. Any doctor who is working in any specialty should be in touch with general medicine. If he is not in touch with general medicine, he will never be a successful man. You cannot ask anybody to have a gastro consultation. You cannot have anybody to have a psychiatric consultation. Basic knowledge of all aspects of medicine must be there. But these days we see the super specialists have a tubular vision. They will only see cardiology, those who are working as interventional cardiologists, they only do intervention, they don't bother what happened to the patient other time. So for a holistic approach, this was very essential. And although we also protested at that time for such things, because we have to be on our toes to be conversant with all the medical emergencies also, which was little cumbersome and little discomfort, because we had come there for training in cardiology and learning cardiology, but we have to be in touch with all other medical emergencies. But now we realize that was indeed a great decision from the director of the Postgraduate Institute, Chandigarh.
Well, I guess what you're
And
trying
we
to
never
say.
forget, everybody commits mistake, and mistakes are the pillars of success. If somebody has never committed mistake, he will never be a successful man. The more mistakes you commit in your early career, the more successful you will be. Mistakes are pillars of success.
So those are great thoughts, and I think what you're saying is now we are going back to the good old days, trying to integrate medicine, go with a holistic approach, and what we had sort of left back with your generation, we are probably now trying to pick it back, and that's our attempt also through TRUWELLTH, so that we are trying to integrate different faculties together, and it's not alternative medicine, but it's all inclusive medicine that we are trying to bring in together. So
the other thing is our attitudes and the members of the medical fraternity of those days. Suppose an Epicon is running, we will like to hear non-cardiology topics rather than a cardiology, because cardiology we can be familiar with. So our attitude was to learn. Suppose a session is going on chest or a session is going on neurology, we will try to attend the neurology session and leaving the cardiology session. But these days you don't find there. They are restricted to cardiology. The moment a gastro session starts, they goes out and have tea. So that is also a change which is in the reverse direction, is not fruitful for the patient. You must be conversant with all the specialties, at least the basic knowledge. You may not be conversant with the finer things of that specialty.
So one more question, I think, which I'm really itching to ask is, you've been also, just as my father was supportive towards conferences when there were hardly any conferences happening and there were hardly any budgets companies or anyone had for the conferences. No one thought about academics plus, trying to integrate, entertainment, so that it would be a great um, platform for the doctors. You are also the pioneer of these kind of conferences as well as associations. And, so how was it then? Today that there are so many conferences that are happening, even though we see that you are forming new conferences like cardiometabolic conferences.
That's the need of the day.
So what's your thought on it?
See, it's just like unless you throw money, return will not come back. Initially, there is a lot of worry that if I organize this or that, what will be the budget and how will we go forward? So whenever we used to ask Mr. Gadgil, he will throw everything, and I'm sure he got in return also. Otherwise, usually the concept of the pharma industry is whether I will get the return and so on. But Mr. Gadgil, we have seen he never used to bother. He will throw everything, and as far as know, he got more than what he expected in return. And that should be the way. Otherwise, if you think the more you do, the more you gain. The more you spend, more money comes.
Absolutely. I mean, his whole investment was not just money, but time, energy, and being with you all, and having a long-term vision towards academics and the reducing disease burden as a whole vision. So I think that's why you all were such a successful combo at doing such great events, and at the same time, treating your patients in a great way. It was such a pleasure, sir, to listen to you, and this is just the beginning of you being on our platform. I'm sure we will try to organize more programs for patients, because that is what we continuously, relentlessly have been doing on this platform, trying to impart as much education to the patients, and that way change their outlook also towards a holistic approach towards the wellness, and then of course if they get disease, then towards treatment. So on this occasion, I think we will want to present you the RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award virtually, of course, and then of course we will make sure that we come down and present you that physically as well. But let us take the proud privilege of presenting this award to you. So I'm just going to showcase the award, and then bear with us. Give us a minute. We have with us actually Dr. Rekha Bhatkande madam, and we also have Asha Bhanushali madam with us. I would request both of them if they can put their videos on, and it will be such a pleasure that if we can present this award to Dr. P.C. Manoria in their presence. Both Dr. Rekha Bhatkande, Dr. Rekha Bhatkande ma'am, are you around? She's actually been with one of the hospitals, one of the very old hospitals here in Mumbai, Sushrusha. And we have Dr. Asha Bhanushali, who of course is a very, I would say, a pioneering gynecologist in Mumbai out here, and she's part of she's trustee of a 150 bedded, two 150 bedded hospitals here in Mumbai as well. So yeah, Dr. Bhatkande ma'am, if you can put your video on, I think Bhanushali ma'am, if I can request you to put your video on as well, and we will present the award to sir.
Yes, Rajashri, I am trying to get my video on, but yeah, I'm Dr. Rekha Bhatkande, and it's a pleasure to be here on your program again. And we have such wonderful people who you are, felicitating today. And Professor Manoria, I mean, what you have told us is so relevant. It's a holistic way of approaching any disorder or disease. And I'm a gastroenterologist, and I do agree with you, sir. I do attend other faculty seminars and webinars, because knowledge is something that is necessary in all fields to be able to give your best in your field. So, so it's wonderful to be here and to be felicitating you on this Wisdom and Excellence Award. Madam Bhanushali, over to you.
I guess Dr. Bhanushali ma'am is not around, but I think she's here, but her video is not.
Sorry,
no worries, ma'am. We are now going to present the award.
Sorry, for whatever reason. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it's really lovely, and it's so nice to know that Professor Manoria is.
Thank you very much. It was indeed great pleasure to be associated with your function. Hope to be interacting with you in future.
Sir, give us a second. I think we are now presenting you this award. Really, the RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award. Our attempt is, we are doing it virtually, but the idea is to share our, respect, love, and our support to you in all that you're doing relentlessly, sir, for so many years. And it's absolutely a proud privilege to have you on this program. You did not take even minutes to just say a yes to my request. And I'm really, honored and very emotional about it as well. So thank you very much for accepting this with my father's name. And you know the love and affection you had between yourselves. So can't be more happier and proud to present this award to you, sir. And we will soon be there with the physical award at your place.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll request you to be around for as much as you can, sir. But we'll now move on to our next award.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. The next award also after cardiology, this is going to look like a completely holistic therapy in itself as well. But we have another very great personality, I would say, with us. You meet him and you can't, he's quite infectious as a personality himself. So, it's when you meet him and you'll hear him talk, you will realize what I want to say out here. It's Dr. Sanjay Agarwala. And can't be more proud that, I have this occasion to introduce him. And while I introduce him, I also have our very good family friend and, of course, friend of Dr. Sanjay Agarwala and my father, RS Gadgil here. And he's already smiling. Is Dr. Ram Prabhu. And, sir, you have been with our program so many times and you've supported me through this initiative so many times. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And thank you for taking time, though you had a very busy day, but you've come here. They're all smiles after seeing you. So give me the opportunity to first introduce Sir, Dr. Sanjay Agarwala here. And this is again a very short introduction, but we can go on and on with talking about him. Dr. Sanjay Agarwala, he is the Director of Professional Services and Head of Orthopedics at the Hinduja Hospital, which is a very coveted hospital here in Mumbai. He is also a visiting consultant at Breach Candy Hospital in Mumbai. Besides holding these distinguished designations, he is a former founder trustee and past president of the Indian Society of Hip and Knee Surgeons, the joint replacement surgeons representative body in India. In 38 years of his successful practice, medical excellence is something which is always focused on, and he's contributed to the medical excellence by successfully blending the best of the East and the West to bring world-class care for the benefit of the Indian patients by his large contribution to academics and basic research, and then more in-depth research. 38 years of experience in clinical knowledge and surgical excellence in adult reconstructive surgery of joint arthroplasty and complex trauma. His patient list includes stalwarts from various walks of life, including leading politicians, Bollywood celebrities, doyens of industry, religious heads, so many patients who are the regular patients, the needy patients, and he continues to give his best to the society. With 86 publications in peer-review journals, active contributor to research and national and international prestigious journals like British Medical Journal, Journal of Arthroplasty, the British Journal of Bone and Joint Surgery, Rheumatology, Annals of the Royal College of Surgeons, England. His research has established a made-in-India solution using bisphosphonate successfully for a crippling and painful disease, AVN, which is avascular necrosis. And I'm sure you will hear more about this from him. He is, of course, DHOT, Master of Surgery Auth. He's MCH Auth from England. And he's the editor of the Journal of Clinical Orthopedics and Trauma. Dr. Agarwala conducts several teaching programs for the orthopedic fraternity, spread across India. Under his chairmanship, there is a DNB training course in orthopedics recognized by the National Board, where postgraduate students in orthopedics are trained in the Hinduja Hospital. He was the chairman of the AO Foundation Western India chapter for the teaching of fracture management, and the Hinduja Hospital is recognized as an AO Center of Excellence since 2009, which is one of the 5 in the country there. He has been an integral part of the Hinduja Foundation, an international philanthropic body, as the medical director of the Trust Hospital, PD Hinduja Mumbai, for 35 years. The foundation actually almost gives rupees 40 crores annually as charity. So all in all, we can go on and on with the number of awards, journals, the philanthropic work that Dr. Sanjay Agarwala has been doing with the when you walk into his clinic, you will actually see a lot of pictures with celebrities. But he's given his services for the society relentlessly. And what but more that how much more happier can we be to be able to present this award to him. Dr. Agarwala, sir, can we request you to actually put your video on so we can see you?
Thank you very much, Rajshri.
I would like to add on something, Rajshri.
Yes.
First of all, I'm extremely happy and to be here with you all and attending this great function of felicitating Dr. Agarwala. And it gives me a great pleasure that our relationship with Mr. R.S. Gadgil spanned almost 45 years. And now that I have Sanjay Agarwala with me, a dear colleague of mine, and we know each other for last almost 50 years. We did our undergraduate and postgraduate together. And he was one of the finest, not only a surgeon, but a finest human being. And he really deserves this felicitation today. I'm very happy that I have been able to attend this function today, just like I have attended for last 7-8 years. And it gives me a great pleasure. You have introduced him. You have told about his academic excellence. At the same time, he is the head and he is somebody who controls Hinduja and the surgical part of it. And it is one of the foremost institution, not only in India, but in Asia and globally. So thank you very much, Sanjay, for giving me this great honor of being with you today when you are being felicitated. So over to you, Sanjay, for your excellent presentation that we'll see soon.
Well, he's been so meticulous that, sir, you can go on. I mean, of course, when I approached him to the award, he already took the effort to record his presentation because he just didn't want anything. He wanted everything to be perfect, just like a surgery. So, so whenever you instruct me, we will play the video, but the stage is yours.
So thank you very much for those very kind words, Rajshri. And thank you, Ram, for being such a dear friend. By being such a dear friend, I expected no less to say all the best of things. Some of these might really be true. So what I'm going to request is that I did 2 days earlier. I did a recording in the hope that whilst we are talking live, there is no glitch in the Wi-Fi. In fact, the rains have started and our area didn't have light for an hour this morning. So anticipating such things, I have done a recording on Zoom and I forwarded this to Rajshri. And I mean every single word of it. I did know Mr. Gadgil personally, just like Ram Prabhu did. And as I will mention in my presentation, that when he would talk to me, it would be as if he is talking only to me. And if he said, Dr. Agarwala, I want you to make this world-famous product, it was as if I could do it for him. I'm sure this is a line that he, as one of the best marketeers that I've known, and one of the most outstanding salesmen, used for 10,000, 20,000, maybe 100,000 people. But when he was speaking to you, he made it clear that you mattered. And I think that's the greatest thing a salesman can do. And when he was approached by me from time to time, not only for myself, my various meetings, conferences, he would say, "Sir, this is a blank check. Write how much you need." I mean, this is the kind of largesse he had. So, Rajshri, may I request you to play the video, and then I'll talk to you again after that. It's a 12-minute video, I think. It covers most things that I would like to talk to you about. I am a physician. Like Dr. Manoria said, I am also, of course, an orthopedic surgeon, and my patients are allowed to sit on the floor after hip and knee replacement. So these are the two things I will touch upon out of the 89 that I could have touched upon and talked to you about and bored you to death. I hope I will not bore you in this presentation. Rajshri, take on from there.
So it's absolutely a privilege. It's very modest of you to give me this opportunity to, have you here. And you both, you and Dr. Ramprabhu, you already made me very emotional. This is always a very emotional event for all of us. But over to, we'll play the video right now.
I am deeply honored to be here to receive the RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award for 2023. I'd like to start by thanking Rajshri for this recognition. She shared the names of previous recipients, and it is humbling to be among such a talented and accomplished group of individuals. I would also like to thank my colleagues and juniors who have worked diligently with me over the years to accomplish my research and clinical work, which has led to this recognition. I remember Mr. R.S. Gadgil from my days at KEM Hospital. He was a consummate marketeer and salesman, always with a twinkle in his bright eyes, and you can see that on the screen as he introduced yet another new product for us to use in our practice. When I returned from England, he asked for my help in making Gemcal a national product, a line he no doubt used with over 100,000 other practitioners. But he made me feel that I was the only important physician whose support would be critical to the success of this product. I always felt he was addressing only me when he spoke. My colleagues remember his largesse in giving blank checks for medical conferences, a truly large-hearted and warm man. Out of the nearly 100 scientific publications that I have, I will briefly touch upon two subjects. One, since I'm an orthopedic surgeon and a past president and founder of the Indian Society of Hip and Knee Surgeons, on my surgical work at achieving natural, normal, physiological range of movements after joint replacements, both hips and knees. And since Mr. Gadgil was from the medical fraternity, my work in the medical cure for AVN.
Dr. Sanjay Agarwala of Hinduja Hospital. Dr. Agarwal, thank you for being with us, and let's say a warm hello to everyone.
So warm hello to everyone. I am the Director of Professional Services and the Head of Orthopedics, the Consultant Joint Replacement Surgeon at PD Hinduja Hospital, Mahim, and also a consultant at the Breach Candy Hospitals in Mumbai. These are the two hospitals, which you can see on the screen where I work. And if I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. And I have worked with a number of people who have been my teachers. And I think I'm really a clinician and a scientist.
So every time I'm I meet you, something good happens. Either my film becomes a hit or I get a nice film. So I'm hoping something else happens.
So with my over 100 publications, I've had the privilege of treating a large number of celebrities. And people have had nice things to say, which I'm going to share with you. With respect to replacement of hips and knees, my patients are able to sit cross-legged, are able to sit on low stools, are able to kneel, and otherwise have a very natural life. And this is the magic of normal joint replacement function, which is required in Asia and Africa, where 78% of the world population resides. This is a requirement. People want to sit cross-legged, they want to kneel, they want to pray in their style. They need to have these movements naturally. However, after standard hip and knee replacements, these are not allowed. In fact, even in Western culture, it is claimed, though, that they sit on chairs. They need to kneel. If they go to prayer, they need to kneel if they play a sport. And the Mayo Clinic is very clear when it says avoid crossing and twisting your legs, avoid bending from your waist, avoid bringing your knee up higher than your hip, and don't reach down to pull up blankets when lying in bed. However, my patients, after a hip and knee replacement, are allowed and permitted to do this. And I think this is not necessarily magical, but this is the kind of thing that is required by Indian patients, and I'm glad and happy that I'm able to offer this. Here we have, with permission, Mr. Yogesh Patkar, who had to do both hip replacements, and you will see how he not only dances happily, and you may have seen him on ZTV, he is a famous man. He's able to sit on the floor and
What does it look like?
She went on to dance in Devdas, and really my patients, we do not tell them about contraindications because there are none. So we have patients saying nice things after even knee replacements. And here is a lady who is clearly from the village. Before surgery, you can see how she was barely able to walk. Day 1 of surgery, with a walker, she is ambulant. In 2 weeks, walking very well. And within a month, able to sit and squat the way she would like in her village and elsewhere. And I think this is really an accomplishment, and perhaps one of the reasons why such kinds of awards are allocated. Yet another lady who had a terrible knee condition and after surgery was able to do these kind of movements. And I'm really proud that my techniques are able to achieve this. One disease which I'm particularly happy to share with you is avascular necrosis, and along with that, transient osteoporosis of the hip, spontaneous osteonecrosis of the knee, avian post-leukemia, avian other than hip, and post-COVID avian, where we've been able to treat this with a medical line of treatment. And there has been a paradigm shift in osteonecrosis treatment with bisphosphonates, was published in 2021 as a 20-year-old study. And yet another one, which has been published in JBJS, is restoring post-COVID hips with the medical management. So I've had a multiple number of papers and very proud and happy to share them with you. I give my patients with these conditions zoledronic acid, which is a bisphosphonate, give oral alendronate, calcium and vitamin D. And this, over a period of time, cures this condition. The same principles are used in transient osteoporosis of the hip, and which is otherwise a very difficult condition to treat and extremely painful. And here you can see on the MRI, within 4 months, the disease is fully cured. Yet another case where the disease is cured in 4 months' time. We have been able to use this in the medical management of spontaneous osteonecrosis of the knee, or SPONK. And we've been able to, of course, do this even for the classic, the AVN. And you can see how in this case, at 4 years, the disease is cured. The patient has a full range of movement. Yet another case who came to us almost at a stage 3, and he can sit cross-legged and have normal function at the end of 4 years. Our clinical success has been 98% for stage 1, 92% for stage 2, and 77% for stage 3. Stage 4 probably require a surgical line of treatment with a hip replacement, which I shared with you earlier. We've seen no cases of atypical fractures or osteonecrosis of the jaw in about 80,000 patients that I've had the privilege to treat. We have rewritten the management of AVN with a medical line of treatment, and Mr. Gadgil would have been extremely happy to have heard of this. We've even treated young people. So this is when he was a young man, and this is now with a medical line of treatment. I'm very, very pleased and happy that we could save it. Yes, and like him, many, many others, much of this work I have published, so if anyone is interested, they can get to the internet and read about this. In fact, in COVID, we've seen a large number of cases with AVN, and this has been written up extensively in the newspapers, readily accessible.
Generally, the treatment has to be evidence-based, things that have been done. But clearly, from time to time, you will be doing things which are hatke. And when you do things which are hatke, you need to gather the evidence, you need to put it together, collate it, and make it into something that can be published. And if it can be published, others too will learn from it.
So really, this award inspires me to continue to strive for excellence, to never give up on my dreams, and I will continue to work hard to live up to the high standards set by previous recipients. I thank you all once again. So thank you, Rajri. I said it all, and I'm glad that it went off without a hitch, without a breakup of the Wi-Fi, etc.
Okay, so luckily we have been almost, I would say, more than 500 programs down since a little before COVID. That's when we started with these online programs, and fortunately, we have been able to build a good technical team at the back end. So, so we're really happy that we are able to do these programs online and get people across geographies to get the awards, and also, people across can hear them. So such a beautiful thing technology has brought us in. But your insights were great, but few questions I of course wanted to ask you. Is you mentioned your KEM days. People normally will walk in, and I've heard people talking about the beautiful wall you have inside your clinic with all those beautiful photographs out there. We all see those, but did we actually see? And I'm sure Dr. Ramprabhu has seen those tough days with you. If you can share a few of few incidences that you have had together, or maybe, that we should know that, the hardships in those days. I do know quite a few of them, but if you could speak about them, it would be great.
So, I mean, I can put in a word here that we used to see voluminous numbers of patients. In a ward, we'd have at least 20 or 40 that we would be individually looking after. Like Dr. Manoria said, day, night, there was nothing that prevented us from working. The newer lot feel that if they have done 6-7 hours of work, they've done enough. They need to have their time off, and they might even walk away from work. So I think it's a quantum shift in the way of thinking. And I was speaking to Dr. Ram Prabhu some time back about your father, in fact. So he reminded me that we had rubbish hostels. I mean, they were not the best, and they probably still aren't. And even there, Ram told me how your dad would, be visiting different places. Then in the afternoon, when he'd come back and be tired, he would share Ram's hostel room to take a nap. So we were all one. I mean, Ram and I are contemporaries. He's a little senior to me in age, but he looks much younger than me. Clearly, you can see that. And, we had a good time. KM was what built our character, gave us the experience. KM being, for anyone who's not from Bombay, it's one of the most prestigious teaching hospitals of Mumbai. And it's actually considered to be at par with the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi. We feel that it is. And we had a good time. We learned. And all those things that we learned then are what Ram and I and people like me and Dr. Manoria are putting into practice for the benefit of patients who we treat every day.
And we were very lucky to have excellent teachers. We were really had wonderful teachers that time, the stalwarts in our orthopedics and any other department too. We really had great teachers, and we must owe our learning from them. And at the same time, all of us had a very congenial and very cordial relations during our residency or undergraduate and postgraduate days. And we really learned a lot from our friends as well as we learned from our seniors and our teachers. So that was a great sort of period, and that is really a time which we'll never forget. And that was a really some kind of push that we got to do better in life. And all of us, I'm fortunate that all of us have done pretty well from what we think we did. And of course, like Sanjay, Agarwala, there are lots of people in India and abroad who are really doing excellent in academics and also in the orthopedic practice. So thank you, Sanjay, for allowing us to felicitate you today. And Mr. Gadgil would have been very keen and happy to meet us all again, and we remember him time and again. Dr. Manoria wants to say something.
Sanjay Agarwal, I have many patients of these replacement hip and other, and this is the first time I'm seeing that there are no restrictions, and I am amazed with your results. So I never heard that there are no restrictions after a hip replacement.
So I'm pleased that from this medium, I can reach out to people like yourselves to share with you. It is my technique, but I use standard orthopedic implants. So it is not that these are amazingly different implants that have been created for me. And I would implore that all practicing orthopedic surgeons just learn from my technique, because this can be then done across the board for all of us who need it, 78% of the world.
But this should be disseminated to the non-orthopedic medical fraternity rather than the orthopedics, because what I am hearing it for the first time. I have so many friends who have undergone this, but they are all restricted, not allowed to kneel or to say.
इसीलिए तो आपको रखा है यहाँ पर कि मैंने आपकी बात की.
We will invite you for a lecture in a cardiology conference, because elderly cardiologic patients are suffering from all these disorders.
Yes.
In the longevity of life.
Look forward to it.
Nice to see you.
So such multidisciplinary platforms really help in dissipating knowledge from one specialty to other, and it really makes our eyes open to all these newer advances in medicine.
So, Dr. Manoria, just to add, Dr. Ram Prabhu is your contemporary. When you say you're in cardiology, he's in orthopedics. He's conferences is something which Dr. Ram Prabhu is master at. So I'm sure Dr. Agarwala will also agree with the fact that taking academics forward through these conferences and bringing people together is an act. No one's better than him, I would say.
But let me also tell you that Rajeshri, since COVID started, has done more than 500 different webinars, and she has really worked incessantly, literally day and night, and practically three webinars in a day that she did, and it was amazing. At her energy levels, her networking was phenomenal. Hats off to her, really.
Oh, I could do all that with all their support. I mean, without that, I couldn't have been able to do anything really. But with that, I'll take a promise from the three of you that we are going to do more multidisciplinary programs and more integrated approach at things, and because that's really the need of the hour. With that, I think we will present the award to Dr. Sanjay Agarwala here. This is again virtual, sir, but I will of course come there in person to present it to you. And of course we have Dr. Ram Prabhu, we have Dr. P.C. Manoria here while we are presenting it. I'll of course have the award virtually put on the screen, and once you go online, it's going to be, you will see it. You should re-see the program and you'll realize how we put it on the virtual screen out here. Dr. Manoria, if you can switch on your video as well, that would be great. We have Dr. Ashish Arbhat here also, who's probably the generation who is getting inspired by Dr. Agarwala, you and Dr. Prabhu. You all are teachers to them. So Dr. Arbhat, if you're around as well, please switch your video on. It would be nice to have you as we present this award to Sir. Great. Dr. Albert is in Pune with the ONP hospital, and of course our next awardee is the director of the ONP hospital as well. So pleasure, sir, presenting this RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award to you. Couldn't have been more happier to be able to do this with, of course, joy and tears both together.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
With that, of course, we will, with the protocol, we'll move on with the next awardee of today's program. And I take the privilege to introduce her. So she, her, whatever we say, is a woman who is, of course, a gynecologist. She has pioneered quite a few things as well, and of course has been a relentless entrepreneur. Really respect her for all that she's been doing. I will request Dr. Ashish Arbhat to introduce her really, because Dr. Arbhat, of course, works at the ONP hospital and is the HOD at the HOD Orthopedics at the ONP hospital, and has been doing amazing work again in 3D robotic surgeries. He's one of the first in the western side of India. He's doing absolutely active work in robotics, the newer technologies, and he's absolutely exploring all of them and bringing them to the patients for the better surgical surgeries for the patients. He's also done his MS surgery from KM. There were a lot of KMites here today, and NCH also from the Royal College of Surgeons, UK. He has fellowships from USA, UK, and Japan. So really, over to you, Dr. Ashish Arbhat, for introducing ma'am. It's a privilege to have both of you here.
Hello, Rajeshri, and it's always a privilege to be a part of your TRUWELLTH and RSG Wisdom Excellence Award. and God bless you on this endeavor of yours. And I'm, as I remember suggesting you Madam's name, because been working with the Jahangir group and Madam's hospital group for near about 3-4 years now. And what I found is not only it is one of the most state-of-the-art operation theaters, at least available in Pune, but they also cater to humanity services like the silver homes, which none of the entrepreneurs have been, endeavoring, as of I know, because doctors, business people, being in that world of charity and old age homes really matters, and literally we cater to every needs. They have even kept separate doctors, and full-time MBBS and MD people around there to take care of the old age homes. Nevertheless, the infrastructure, the people that Madam has gathered around, it's a very loving place. It's a very warm feeling when you are in the Oyster and Pearl, and she's the oyster for all of us, and might be we are the pearls, but ever protecting, ever absorbing. Whenever you call for her, she talks. She has been humble whenever we meet her. So Rajeshri, I think it's a privilege to talk about her. Can we have the slides, please, for her? Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. And thank you for the introduction.
So, Madam has, so she has a huge paraphernalia of things around her, but as we know that she is a multifaceted personality, and she always talks about excellence when we talk about getting the primary robotics, or now we are introducing one more humanoid robotics. She was always keen on helping us out and listening to us. And she's graduated from the prestigious Topiwala Nair Medical College from Mumbai in 1983. She has completed her internship from the US, and she completed her pediatrics doctorate MD and DCH from Karnataka. She also has been a prestigious student of the US in New York from the Sunny University from the year 1989-90. And the field of neonatology, I guess, in Pune was started by her. She remains the first proprietary owner of the tertiary level neonatal ICU in Pune in as early as in 1992, when nobody was even knowing of such things as you can have an ICU for the tertiary level for the neonates. She definitely is the founder director of Oyster and Pearl Group of Hospitals, and they have a huge number of beds under them. And one of the prime lions stands at Shivaji Nagar very proudly since 2008. And it's not only a multi-speciality center, it's a boon for women and child health. And along with her family, Dr. Phadnis, they have an excellent setup. And I always tell my juniors or people who want to see good setups to come and see how Oyster and Pearl operation theaters function. They are state of the art. They also have had a couple of centers, and now they have a complete greenfield unit called ONP Leela, which is dedicated to women and child health in outskirts of Pune since 2017. It's again a state-of-the-art facility, and was, like I said, they have silver homes for the silver haired senior citizens. And I have privileged enough and being privileged enough to serve them, because a lot of people have dementia and Alzheimer's, and we have treated fractures and from our side, and it offers a lot of assisted living. And it's a proud moment to be associated with such people, because apart from having so many achievements and material means to their ends. They are still very, very humble people, and I keep on telling my kids that you should learn from these kind of people, that humility is above everything, and that's what we learn from her. She also has multiple leadership awards. She was honored by the Rotary Club of Pune. She was given the Adi Shakti Stri Gaurav felicitation by Sakal Times, and in 2016, the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, and now this is a different feather in the cap. So she had that award from the commerce side as well. So it's a proud privilege, madam, to be here to introduce you. And here we present the prestigious RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award. And it's always given to stalwarts in remembrance. We need to celebrate the life that you have led, the life that you show us, the way that you have made. Welcome to the family. Rajashri, over to you. And thanks for giving me this privilege.
Ma'am, such a pleasure to have you here. Also, me myself being a woman entrepreneur, I'm so inspired by you already. And I'm sure with your talk, we're going to learn more. And the audience is also going to know a lot more about the work that you do. So the stage is yours, and whatever you would like to share with us, I'm sure we are going to learn a lot of whatever you tell us here today. We have Dr. Disha Bungare here also, who also works with you. So at the ONP hospital. So such a proud moment as a woman for her as well. Yes, ma'am. The stage is yours. I mean, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind introductions, Dr. Arbat, Ms. Rajeshri Gadgil. Thanks a lot. Namaste. Namaste in Sanskrit means the divine in me honors the divine in you. What better way can we have of greeting fellow human beings, whether online or offline? So with this new understanding of the word namaste, namaste to everyone. Pratham pranam to late Shri R.S. Gadgil, in whose memory we are doing this program. I remember that era when big pharma and big drugs were just coming into being in India, and I was a part of that growing up in that era of medicine. I'm sure he will be happy to know that his great work is being carried forward by this dynamic lady we all know here, Rajeshri, his daughter. Applause to you, Rajeshri. Great what you're doing with your dad's legacy. I'm proud to be associated with you. I'm honored to receive this RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award, and I would stress on the word wisdom. Dil se dhanyavad. When Rajeshri met me in person to confer this award in me, I just thought it's an online award. So, we just say hello, thank you, and it's the end of it. But last night when I spoke to Rajeshri, she said, oh, you should talk for a few minutes. And that's when I got thinking. It took me down memory lane. और फिर सोचा सचमुच काफी कुछ किया है, कभी बात ही नहीं करते. तो उस हिसाब से मैं सोचने लगी, what is my story? So I will just briefly go through my story. I wouldn't want to bore you. I'm a pretty chaotic kind of a person, so I'll just walk you through the whole thing. So armed with a degree in pediatrics neonatology, with the necessary education, expertise, technical background behind pediatrics neonatology, having worked in Mumbai, studied and worked in Mumbai, in Manipal, in the US, and back in Mumbai, I decided to come to Pune in 1992 and decided that I would make a difference to the field of pediatrics and neonatology. So in 1992, my dream came true when I started Neo Clinic, Neo as in new and Neo as in neonatal. In 1992, I started this first private tertiary care center for newborn babies. And I'm proud to say that the first baby in Pune who received ventilatory support was in Neo Clinic. And that's one credit I'm honored with, and I'm honored to keep it with me. After that, there was no looking back. We had a state-of-the-art NICU with the ventilators, with the warmers, everything that was needed for the NICU. No looking back, I was the first to start transport ambulance for children. and newborns. Today we hear about it, and in those days we didn't. I started a pediatric ICU, a pediatric surgery in a private setup. I started the first newborn screening program, NEBOS, when nobody had heard of newborn screening. We started with metabolic testing, sonography, hearing test, and so on and so forth. I was the first to have a huge child-friendly OPD of about 2,000 square feet. That's how passionate I was with what I did, and I still continue to be as passionate in the field of pediatrics neonatology. From 1960 to 2008, we had Shri Clinic, which was related to my father-in-law and my husband. And by way of the family medical practice, I was big time into women's health also. We were the first to do laparoscopic surgeries, microsurgeries in Pune for women. And we were the first to start the IVF center in Pune and Western Maharashtra. Our first IVF baby is now about 34 years old, born in 1993. And that's another feather in our cap. And we continue to do IVF in a big way in Pune. Now there are about 50 centers where we were one. So that was from 1960 to 2008. In 2001, we started Sumati Health, which was the first women-centric health evaluation and lifestyle therapeutic center, empowering women to do their checkups. This was a center for women, not for profit, and run by women. So I had all women employees there, and it was called Sumati. That means Sumati is a woman's name, and Sumati means a wise woman. So that was Sumati Health, which got integrated in 2008 into our new hospital. From 2007 to 2014, my husband and I ran Dalvi Hospital for the Pune Municipal Corporation on a totally charitable basis. And I say charitable. This was totally funded by us. For 7 years, we were conducting about 100 to 120 deliveries per month. Personally funded, though we had a charitable trust called Harmony. We still do, but we never garnered funds for this. This was from our personal funding. It was our give back to society for what they had given us. So that was Dalvi Hospital, successfully run for 7 years. In the year 2008, we started Oyster and Pearl, ONP Hospital in Shivaji Nagar. The logo, I'm just going to show it to you. It was like a circle with one big dot and a small dot. You'll have to imagine it. I'm not carrying the logo. Like I said, I just thought of, like Rajeshi told me yesterday, say a few words, ma'am, and that's where I am. So the two dots, the big one and the small one, the big one representing the doctor, the small one, the patient, the mother and the child, parent and the child, or the caregiver and the care receiver. That's what our logo means. And if you see it from top, you can imagine that the caregiver and the care receiver are embracing each other. As they say in Hindi, संग का रंग लगता है. So I'll give you an example. पाण्याचा एक थेंब जमिनीवर पडला तर संपतो, पानावर पडला तर चमकतो, शिंपल्यात पडला तर मोती होतो. थेंब तोच, फरक फक्त सहवासाचा. The nurturing that goes into ONP and all its activities. In 2011, we took over a hospital in Pune by the name of, and we called it ONP Tulip. Through that 7 years, so through those 8 years, I ran a lot of programs such as Masters of Maternity, fixed delivery packages for women without any hidden agenda. That was Masters of Maternity. Then we ran other programs, High Risk Pregnancy Simplified, The Joy of Motherhood, and so on. And in 2015, we took over another hospital which belonged to a very dear friend of my husband's. That was called ONP Mira, which we ran from 2015 to 2020. In 2019 and 20, and that's where the wisdom part of it comes, we had a bit of a setback because of the property issues, and we had to give up 2 of our hospitals. That year made me stronger, more resilient, and wiser. And I guess that's what wisdom is all about. It comes through our learnings from different life situations. In 2017, I started ONP Leela Hospital in Pimple Saudagar in Western Pune, which is the hub now of the younger people. It is a thriving mother and child hospital doing brilliantly. And in 2017, I also started my first old age home, Silver Homes, in an area called Balewadi in Pune. Again, there was a learning curve with a lot of people, with a lot of happenings, with a lot of situations. Therein, again, I'm proud to say that I came out stronger, resilient, and wiser. And in 2022, I started one more old age home in Baner, close by, again by the name of Silver Homes. And I'm happy, and I wanted to do this because this was my give back to a lot of my older generations who did so much for us. Along the way, we did take over one small pharma concern, which is yet to bloom and flower, as they say, but it will happen over a period of time. So today I stand at this threshold, taking up the challenge of facing huge competition in the healthcare industry. All of us are aware that as entrepreneurs, what are the challenges we are facing? But like I said, stronger, more resilient, and wiser by the day. So, having said that, I was thinking about what is it that what is it that I have learned along the way, and that is what I'm going to share with you. A few thoughts on wisdom and learning. So live with passion, and I say live with passion but with caution. But the way we have done things is just taking this. Bas laga kar diya. But now I say older and wiser, and I'd say yes, you should use a little caution in everything you do. I would say live by my true values, our true values, which is our soul values, not related to the human body, but to our soul. And those are peace, power, and by power I mean Atmabal or willpower, purity, knowledge, truth, love and compassion, happiness and bliss, and that I mean Antar Sukhi. So these are the values which give me comfort today, which make me comfortable and keep me at ease. They do not give me dis-ease, and they do not give me disease by the way of stress. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way, as is said by many gurus. And I would like to use the word guru here because the guru can be a person, a situation, a happening, many, many things, your relatives, friends. So for me, my first gurus were my parents, my in-laws, my friends, my relatives, and of course, great thinkers such as J. Krishnamurti, Vimlaji Thakkar, Sri Ravi, Sadguru, and the list can go on, but my most loved guru is B.K. Shivani. So she also teaches me, and I've learned this again, how to do traffic control of your negative thinking. Birth and death are the only constant, and change is the only constant. फिर ये सब होने के बाद भी कहाँ अहंकार, कहाँ ईर्ष्या, कहाँ भय, सब बाजू में रखना है. Then one learning that I have got over the years is social media. I have realized that if you're not on social media, if you're not there on your Google reviews and your Google ranking, you don't exist today. That is another challenge that I'm facing, which is the digital transformation of Dr. Amita Phadnis, and I'm sharing this with you openly. I came across a few thoughts about yoga, and like I said, we are talking here of wisdom. So stress is a result of our bodies and minds being stagnant. Moving our body in a meaningful way relieves stagnancy and helps us move away from a survival mindset to a thriving mindset. I'm just sharing this thought because this was the first time I looked at yoga in a different way. So other guiding values learned over time are core values in all that we do, which is Seva Bhav, Sadbhavna, Sahakarya or Sahayog, Sthita Prajnata, Sakshi Bhav, Saralta, Sabhyata, Namrata. These are all Susankalpa, Hamesha Pratisad, Shama Bhav, Krutagnata, Santushtamani, Swavalambi, Har Din Ka Satkar, Har Din Ka Svikar, Har Din Sabar, Har Din Shukr. So a lot of things I can go on and on, but one of the thoughts that I would leave you with is the capacity to change is the most glorious asset of human beings. This is a thought which I felt is very applicable to my life at this stage, to have the capacity to change. So onward I go, happy to be awarded this award and inspired to be awarded to receive this award. Thank you once again, Ms. Gadgil. Pranam again to late Shri R.S. Gadgil. And thanks to ENERGYA, TRUWELLTH, and all the other businesses that you run, Rajeshri. Great going. Happy to be here. Namaste.
Absolutely a pleasure to hear all that you've said. And, you know, I have learned a lot out of...
I forgot to mention something. 2011, we had the smallest newborn surviving in India. That was a 495 grammer. Like I said, I keep forgetting, but this is one of the credits I'm happy to have.
So I would like to ask you a couple of questions, of course.
Sure.
As a woman entrepreneur and also as a woman, I'm sure, Disha, you can feel free if you want to ask anything as
well.
But,
yes.
But as a woman entrepreneur, what were the challenges, or maybe as a woman doctor, what were the challenges? Was it how different was it from your men contemporaries? And also at the same time, as a woman, did you have an advantage over men, or overall an advantage as a woman?
The
And
way I grew up, sorry.
and what was the strength that you can name that
No,
we women can actually
I think the way I was brought up by my parents was as a free soul. So I never kept looking at myself as a woman. I said, I'm a person educated and I have to do this, and whatever in life. So I never considered that gender factor ever in my career. If you ask me whether gender makes a difference, it does, but it has made no difference to me because I have looked and lived my life in another way. But yes, I agree with you, Rajeshri. Women are judged more harshly, judged more quickly. They are always up and about in this patriarchal world. Anything they do, they have to prove something to the other gender. So on and so forth. And I think one of the challenges that all women face is multitasking. Because whether you like it or not, women continue to be the first level care providers to their families. So when I said I started Sumati Health, that was for women's empowerment, to make women aware that their health is important and that they should give it a priority. So we did a lot of work for almost 7 years in this area of women's empowerment and making women aware of of the importance of their health. But go to answer your question specifically, as a woman, I really have not faced much of a challenge or much of a difference.
Dr. Disha, did you want to ask anything? Or did you want to say anything?
Actually, it's a great pleasure to be part of this program. Felicitating Amita Madam is the right choice what you are doing. Rajesh
Breaking up. Dr. Disha, your voice is breaking.
Yeah.
But I guess what she meant, and she had also said that earlier, was, and thanks to Dr. Ashish Harbert, of course, to make this suggestion as well, that yeah, we should felicitate you.
Add something, Rajshri.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all should work hard, and I did not know so much about Madam. This is against
absolutely.
I know where I might comment is this: people have received the Padma Shri, and some people have not received. So I think we should promote Madam to get the Padma Shri before she retires. And I know it can be, there are people who have got it somehow, but whatever in my power, I might recommend tomorrow, because such people are always never known to the world, and we should make it known. So, Madam, whatever we could do to take you to that level, we would.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr.
You stole my thoughts as well. That after knowing all that you have done, I mean, while I was putting your profile together, and how much more did I feel that we should add as much support to whatever you're doing now. So we are always going to be there in your endeavors. Now your circle of strength is only going to grow. So while we say on that thought, I think more power to us from RSG. He's watching all of us from wherever he is and presenting you this RSG Wisdom and Excellence Award in your pursuit of excellence and wisdom. It's a proud privilege presenting this to you. And of course, in presence of all the great doctors and audience that we have here with us, we present you this award. We will, of course,
thank you.
We will present this to you in person, of course, but virtually what it is.
Rajeshri, may I interrupt you?
Please go ahead, ma'am.
I can't tell you how delighted and happy I am with the way you have worded the award. Nobody does it. Wisdom and excellence. All of us always talk about excellence, but wisdom, and I think I would say Vivek Buddhi, is something that must really be appreciated. So thank you for that.
That was the thought process behind it, and you've recognized it. So means a lot to me.
Thank you.
That's going to motivate me to do more
Yes.
on this front.
Yes.
It's a proud
Rajeshri?
moment to have you. Yes, Dr. Disha.
Yeah, sorry, I lost my connection, I guess, in between. But while listening to Madam, it was such a great that we are doing this for Madam. I think Dr. Amita Phadnis is the right choice, what you are giving. And as Ashish suggested, we should recommend her for more and more and more awards because
No.
yes, definitely, Madam, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, on that note, we have, of course, our next awardee, and that is Mr. Arun Kelkar. But before we go on to him, and I'm sure he's going to love this video that we're going to play. So he will, of course, want to see Dad and his journey and why we are doing these awards. So we're just going to play a small video for the same. Bear with us for a second. Of course, I have Mr. Arun Lal joining us, and also Vikram Kelkar is here. So we're happy that they are here as well to share this moment with Mr. Arun Kelkar. I must say that running this video is also something we love to do because these are the doctors and Dr. Amita Phadnis, you might remember we were talking about Dr. Shrikande and Dr. Lele the other day. And, these stalwarts to much younger doctors, all from the fraternity, have supported me in taking this initiative of Wisdom and Excellence Awards forward, without which I couldn't have taken this endeavor which Dad always wanted to take forward. And of course, I've coined the name, done a lot of things, but it's proud to share the support of these people here, and of course the great awardees who have received the awards until now. So this is the platform I hope to take forward for years together as much as I can, and hopefully the next generation will also take it forward and keep remembering and taking the wisdom and excellence of legends forward. That is the way we can actually serve humanity better and better day in, day after. We have one of the great personalities of our nutrition world today here. And Mr. Arun Kelkar is absolutely one of the pioneers of the nutrition industry. When we all probably didn't even know what nutrition was, and that nutrition is what can make the real difference to us, Mr. Arun Kelkar, and I know even my father. Maybe that was in 80s and 90s that they have dreamt of, what formulations to bring in and how to use nutrition to actually have a better future, I would say. But so I'll take a proud privilege to introduce Mr. Arun Kelkar here. He's put was years of effort, but he's a multifaceted, dynamic personality, and I'm going to share his profile here. While I speak, he's a multifaceted personality, of course, and he's an entrepreneur, one of the first entrepreneurs in the nutrition space who has paved the path, led the way for us, for many more aspirants in this field to follow. He is the chairman of Hexagon Nutrition Limited, a limited company, a truly successful entrepreneur, we would say he is, and of course the next generation is taking his work forward already. Sir is an engineer by qualification, backed by a management degree in operations management. After working for reputed MNCs at senior levels for 19 years, he founded Hexagon Nutrition in 1991. Widely traveled to more than 50 countries, Sir is recognized as an industry leader in the field of nutrition and is an eminent speaker at several international forums. Having conferred upon with several awards and recognition over the years, Arun Kelkar Sir has been spearheading several CSR initiatives towards addressing the issue of malnutrition. A very, very busy professional and entrepreneur and a businessman he is, but just one request that had to go to Vikram Kelkar and then through him to Arun Kelkar Sir, and he had to say a yes to actually receive this award. And I know they have a dad, and he has shared a great relationship, and of course they have shared great thinking together. So here he is with us today. Sir, तुम्ही आज इकडे आहात, it's just I don't know, I can't express my thoughts and feelings right now, but it's great to have you here. And the floor is really, the stage is yours. We want to hear as much as you can tell us today. We want to imbibe all the wisdom and excellence that you have lived in this industry, and the way, of course, your thought process was prevent diseases and help the society be healthier and happier. And we all now use that as a marketing gimmick, but you have really showed us the way towards it. So over to you, and then, of course, we will have Arunlalji and Vikram both also share their association with you with us. Mr. Arun Kelkar Sir, please, the stage is yours. If you can just unmute yourself.
Yeah. So here I am. First of all, I go back to maybe about 20 years back, somewhere. I met Gadgil Sahib after he retired in the Thane office, and then we shared a lot about the nutrition and all these things. And then I told him that I think, one of the first Maharashtrians to have entered into this particular business activity. So having 19 years experience in companies with projects is one part, but to become an entrepreneur, I know how difficult it was to really, because the Marathi, say, we'll do it, this, today, tomorrow we'll do it or something. And then when I was 40, I said, no, let me jump, kind of story. So this is how this thing was there, So, but I enjoyed the whole journey, and it's all the success I attribute to the family who supported me in those days. This is very, very important for an entrepreneur. If your family is supporting, then you can do anything and you can achieve good milestones in life. Why nutrition? Although I'm a mechanical engineer, I did not do much in mechanical nor mechanically, but I had some fascination for nutrition in a particular way, So let me elaborate that a little later on. But thank you, Rajeshri, for inviting me to this RSG Wisdom and Excellence Awards ceremony, and also placing me on e-dais with all the renowned doctors. It gives me a sense of pride when I'm addressed among the doctors, and quite often I also receive communication from abroad also as dear Dr. Arun, So God willing, someday an organization or university will award me a doctorate, So Dr. Professor P.C. Manoria, Dr. Sanjay Agarwala, Dr. Amita Phadnis, let me congratulate you on receiving this award from the RSG organization. And let me start now. Last month, 23rd May, we celebrated the foundation 30th anniversary of Foundation Day with noble humanitarian activities like blood donation camp, donations to home for senior citizens, orphanage, and things like that. So I think that was a different way of celebrating the Foundation Day. So when I say 30 years, my entrepreneurial journey actually started 30 years ago. The journey started with micronutrients, then added the macronutrients and made the branded products. And finally to the ESG products on malnutrition. So let me start with the micronutrients. Those days, I think two multinational companies, Roche and BASF, were actually pioneering in the vitamins and this field. So we said that I think this is a sunrise industry, and let us start our business with this particular one, wherein we did our SWOT analysis and everything, and we said that I think this suits our temperament, this suits our financials and everything, and then we started with the micronutrient premixes for a fortification of variety of food products. Variety of food product means I say A for atta, B for biscuits, C for cornflakes and things like that. It went on and on till V for vanaspati. So we actually fortified all those food and foods and the segments. So we began with actually 3 themes in the premix segment. The first one was UFO, is Universal Fortification Objective. The second one was we are with you every day, right into your stomach when you consume fortified products such as bread, milk, etc., etc. And the third was fortify your products and multiply your profits. So these are the 3 themes with which we went ahead, and then virtually all the multinational companies, Indian conglomerates like Amul and all these become our customers. Having expertise the premix segment with vitamins and all, which are the heart of any food product. he said that, okay, if you want to really go ahead, let us build a body by adding macronutrients like protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So we did that, and we started the brands like Pentasure, Proactiva, and Jeria Gold, and things like that. So this is how the journey was from the premix, the macronutrients, to adding macronutrients and to the branded products. When we wanted to enter the branded products, we said that, okay, let us have something different from what is being done by other companies 20, 25 years back. So the key successes on brands are attributed to by putting our heart and soul while designing the products. वो दिल से बोलते हैं ना, ऐसे दिल से हमने वो प्रोडक्ट, उसमें हमारा heart and soul डाल के, and then we develop the products, and we develop them with a consumer-centric approach. Unlike products manufactured and pushed to consumers to buy, we added grass status functional ingredients. Herbal extract. We are the first company to add herbal extract, Indian company to add herbal extracts to a protein supplement. The another success behind the brands is because we treated the nutritional products as food with good palatability and flavors, etc. This is not a tablet or capsule, when you just take it and then this one, if somebody doesn't like the odor or somebody doesn't like the taste or aftertaste, I think he would not take that. So virtually being treated as food, you need to really have good palatability and flavors and everything put together. So in nutrition segment, we divided the segment into 5 segments. One is the wellness nutrition products. The second one is illness or disease-specific nutrition products. The third is immunonutrition products. The fourth is weight management and obesity control products. See, if you really analyze, these segments are totally different from one another. And the fifth one was fertility nutrition products. So we developed a product called Fertox for men and Fertova for women. And these were quite exported to many Middle East countries and many other countries in a big way. India, it was difficult in a way. But now I think we'll be soon launching these products in India also, because the IVF and things are getting very popular nowadays. So these 5 segments did very, very well. And if you say talk about any hospital or even the doctor fraternity who are present, they must have heard about Pentasure, they must have heard about these various products. And we are the only company having the wide range of these particular nutritional products for every segment. Some company has got some high protein supplement, somebody diabetic, everybody has got, and something like that. Here we have got products for even where the hepatic and nephro. Even in nephro, we have got product for the dialysis, because dialysis goes on for 4 hours. So there you need the food actually for the 4 hours. So it is a high protein formula. So these are some of the I don't want to go into details of this product because everything is on the website and all. I want to talk something core or to the interesting to the audience here. So this is how we actually went into developing these products, and then the doctor fraternity also accepted, tested, validated these products. We did a lot of studies as far as the diabetic products are concerned in Singapore and all these things, so that we could know that where we stand and how are the product efficacies and how people are really enjoying. Because if the patient gets faster discharged, his family is happy, the hospital is happy because they get a new patient and all this. And so this is how the concept of the hospitalized nutrition actually developed, So the hospital started having a better bed rotation, things like that, So faster recovery was the main concept behind all these products. Obesity control again was one of the success stories. Then many of the bariatric surgeons also started using our products. And these are some of the success stories of various products, Obesigo and this one, So the third segment, which is very, very important and near to my heart, is the ESG segment. In this ESG segment, what we did is this is a service to the needy SAM and MAM children and the mothers, adolescent women, and all that. And we tied up with the pediatric department of San Hospital, and a lot of Dharavi, children used to come, and then after taking the product, our RUTF, ready-to-use therapeutic food product, peanut paste with sugar, milk, protein, and etc. And they used to really gain weight. And when you used to have the party, they used to show, okay, the child was like this, and now the child is like this and jumping, and so it really used to give us some pleasure in our heart. And also we get the blessings of the parents and the children and these people, so which is the biggest asset actually for us, पैसा तो क्या सभी कमाते हैं, लेकिन ये जो एक asset है हमारा, that nobody can snatch from us, So even the patients give the blessings indirect, and the malnourished children and mothers and everybody the blessings. So this is our real big example, formula F75, F100, which is given in the first one, starter formula, finisher formula, before the child being treated from the nutritional point of view. So F75, F100, then comes your RUTF, reduced therapeutic food, which has got different levels of micronutrients and particularly the various salts, vitamins, and things like that. And then comes the supplementary food, RUSF, which has got little higher amount of protein and little different levels of micronutrients. Last but not the least is this MNP, or the sprinkles, which is a home fortification. That is after the treatment is over and the child becomes, and then to treat the iron deficiency anemia, this 1 gram sachet of power-packed vitamins and minerals are given in any semi-solid food, and then these are the products which are for home fortification. So we are, I think, according to limited knowledge, we are the only company in the world to cover from F75, F100 to MNP and a whole gamut of the malnutrition products. So in short, we are a pure play nutrition company and not a pharma company having gone into nutrition. This is what the main advantage that we have. And nutrition is to our heart, and we keep on developing the products for different segments. Somebody says that, okay, why don't you develop a product for pre-Alzheimer? So we are under the process of developing a pre-Alzheimer, because after you have Alzheimer, you can't treat it, So there are products to even for the tuberculosis patients, particularly, because in tuberculosis, the 3-drug therapy is no more there. So Rajesh, you mentioned about Dr. What is the name? From Thane. He has been doing the surgery for the tuberculosis patients, Yeah, I remember that. So these are some of the very niche segments which are which are, on the surface, but we are touched by only some foreign few companies, handful of companies. But in India now, we are certainly going to launch all these segments, and there's a need. The new government is also allowing the companies to really do research and development, and they're all for it. They said that, yes, we need this kind of thing. So these are some of the areas where our company is focusing, and we are going to come out with different successful products. And everywhere we take doctors into confidence as to what they really need. It's not just formulating a product in a laboratory and then trying to push. That is not the correct way of doing it, actually. So the doctors, dietitians, now where dietitians also play a big role. Maybe 20 years back, 15 years back, they used to cry. Oh, हमको कुछ पूछता नहीं है, हमको कोई डॉक्टर बोलता है टैबलेट ले लो और कुछ भी खाओ जो भी खाना है. ऐसा नहीं है अभी. Every doctor has got a nutritionist or dietitian sitting in the front office there. So nutrition is the key, because ultimately it's the gut, which actually plays a big role. So if your gut is healthy, your mind is healthy, your body is healthy, and everything becomes very fine. I think thank you very much for patient listening, and I have all. Any questions? I can.
There are a lot of questions, but I think I will save them for our in-person meeting. But
Sure.
Having said that, you really walked us through from where you started and how this whole journey for the nutrition companies itself, started. And like you rightly said, that yours is a company which is not a pharmaceutical company which does nutrition, but it is a nutrition company which is completely focused on using nutrition. And I think here is where you, my father, and we share the common ground, and that is using nutrition as medicine, using nutrition for curing several diseases, at the same time assisting in curing the diseases, so controlling them and preventing them. So there is huge amount of work that has to be, I think you made the huge beginning, but there's huge way forward, long way forward to be so much to be done in this sector. And like Einstein says, everything is energy. For us, energy is food and what we eat. So what else but like it's said that let food be thy medicine by Hippocrates. That's really what needs to be implemented. This was said in BC way before, and so many years ago, by Einstein as well. It's better we start implementing it better. But without leaders like you and the way that you have shown us forward, this is not possible. And for the great work that you're doing, I think I want to, in fact, call upon not just me to talk about you, but we will have your Vikram is there as well, and we have Mr. Arun Omlal, who is the President Corporate Communications with Hexagon Nutrition Limited. We'd like him to share a few words, because he's closely worked with you for long years. Arun Lalji, can you share your thoughts about Sir with us?
Yes, very much. First of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, thank you very much. And I'm privileged to be a part of this prestigious RSG Wisdom and Excellent Award function being bestowed to Mr. Arun Kelkar. I'm honored, to be honest with you, I'm honored to talk about Mr. Arun Kelkar, because I was just thinking what I need to talk about him. There's so much to talk about him, and whenever we talk about him, we fall short of words and sentences. So yes, it is Mr. Arun Kelkar who brought me into this industry, into introducing me to nutrition and now nutraceuticals, which he is rightly a leader and a leadership position taking it forward. What I see in him is basically a dynamic dedicated and focused individual, a multitasking personality. I haven't seen such personalities in the 35 years of my experience in the wide spectrum of industry which I have worked in. So was with Arun for the last 15, 18 years, and seeing him growing Hexagon Nutrition from a private limited company to a public limited company was a great thing which I have seen. I've seen him traveling in about, probably now it must be about 62 countries where he's traveled around, and with the same vigor and the energy, he goes and comes back and discusses with all of us as to what basically he's done. So that's the reason why I call him a dynamic and dedicated. Why do I call him focused and multitasking? Making Hexagon Nutrition Limited a 3 vertical organization and not an easy task. Like he rightly said, I am convinced in the entire globe, it's Mr. Arun Kelkar's Hexagon Nutrition is the only company having 3 verticals under one roof. The clinical nutrition, which he had curated and now grown by his son, Dr. Nikhil Kelkar, the premix division, the vitamins and premix division, and the therapeutic division, which Vikram Kelkar handles. And now he's the managing director of the company. So the vision which he had of making this company a multi-dimensional company with all these verticals to roots to him and to his dedicatedness of the, to be honest with you, I still see him. I was there the other day in Nasik, and I've been going to Nasik where he had put up his first plant about 30 years back. He is always there at the R&D center, curating new product lines. Still the dedicatedness and the focus in bringing in new products for the malnourished children. And that's what makes me tell him a dynamic and a dedicated person. Well, no more words for a man like Mr. Arun Kelkar. And thank you for introducing me to this segment of nutraceuticals and nutrition. Thank you very much, Mr. Kelkar. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, Arun. It was a pleasure to have you here. I would insist that if Vikram can join in for a few minutes. And Kelkar sir, तुम्ही म्हणालात की मराठी आणि entrepreneur. मला वाटतं you and माझे वडील Gadgil, and we had Phadnis madam also out here. So you know we are the people. We are already the Maharashtrians here. Who are on it. तुम्ही आमच्या पुढे आहात, तुम्ही दोघं जण, मॅडम तुम्ही पण, but we are here to follow you. So having said that, I will even go one step forward saying नुसतंच मराठी नाही पण कोकणस्थ लोक आणि बिझनेस मध्ये आणि पुढे जाणार म्हणजे the hardest probably the most difficult plan to actually go forward with business. But when we go forward in business, then with the purpose, then there is nothing to stop us. I'm proud about it, so I just wanted to mention that. Vikram, can you join us for a few minutes, for a couple of minutes, if you could say a few things?
Yes,
certainly. Because you are really taking the legacy forward, and we're so proud of you.
Thank you, Rajeshri. Thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words. And in fact, Arun Lal, our president, corporate communications, already did quite a bit, of his introduction and about his work that he's doing. But one point that I would like to say is what I admire really about our chairman Arun Kelkar and my father is that his ability to take a risk. Because after working for 19 years in a multinational companies with great benefits, great job, he took that risk to start his business from scratch, literally by putting his provident fund, to start the business. It was a time when India was just getting liberalized in 1991 with the new reforms, and things were not easy for business. So, you have a house and you give it to the bank and, you get a small amount of loan. And that was the way it is. So, having gone through that journey with this first 10 years of survival and then, going for growth, this has been a remarkable journey for which, we won't be able to thank him, even our future generations, because he's the man who made the beginning. And I'm so glad that, at this forum today, you took this initiative to recognize him as a person and as an individual, because we have, received a lot of awards, which are, organization specific for the organization, what we have built and for our brands. But I think as an individual, recognizing his efforts, I think it is a great initiative on your part. And I can see that we have the blessings of Shri Ramesh Gadgil with us, and as he looks upon, from the heaven. And I do remember meeting him in way back in 2005 at one of our family functions, and I can still, remember the charisma that he carried with him at that point of time. So, all in all, I just, cherish these wonderful moments. And I also take this opportunity to wish all the other awardees, heartfelt congratulations and all the best, going forward. Thank you very much, Rajeshri, for giving me this chance to talk. Bye-bye.
Those were really great words, and I'm glad Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Just to interrupt, just a closing, my heartfelt thanks to you. And one more thing that I really, from my heart, I feel that you are really put yourself in Mr. Gadgil's shoes. Yeah. I mean, I wish in the hair he is, he must be feeling, yes, you have truly taken the baton in your hand, this thing, and you are following his all footsteps and to a great success. I wish your organization, ENERGYA, a great success in future.
Yes, and with your blessings, I'm sure, and with your inspiration and the way Vikram narrated your story, the way you started, I think that motivates and reassures entrepreneurs like us to, keep at it and keep going forward. Vikram, I'm sure you will agree with me that we can never fit their shoes. Their shoes are too large for us. So
absolutely, I agree completely.
You will never accept that. But having said that, I'll take this opportunity to present this award to you, sir. And of course, this will be presented to you in person as well. But here we have it virtually for you, and we will have it, share it on the screen with you as well. I'm not sure if Vikram, you can actually put your video on, but if you can do that, we can actually have you all together in a snapshot online at least.
Can I make a comment?
Please, you can actually.
Yeah. Dr. Arun, I thoroughly enjoyed your presentation, and I think you're the greatest doctor of all, because nutrition is 70% contribution to good health. So you are truly a doctor. We are the rest 30%. And I really made notes as I was listening to your talk. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Perfect. So that's a picture. We are going to actually save it for us with the award, with Sir, with Vikram and Ma'am, you as well. And it's really a great happy moment for us. And of course, Dad looking at the back, right at all of us. So that really makes me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
accepting the award, sir. We will, of course, have to now move on to the last but not the least. I would say the most emotional award again of this function today. Had it been in person that we could have been able to award this to him, but destiny has finally had some other plans. But yet, why would we not present this award to him while he watches us along with Mr. Gadgil from right there. And this award is a special legendary award, which is going to be presented to Dr. H.S. Bhanushali, sir, posthumously, of course. But we have, I believe we have Dr. Amol Bhanushali here who has joined us, his son. And we also have Dr. Joshi, who has joined us here to talk about him and to share all the great work they have done together and his contributions, of course, to healthcare and also as an entrepreneur. I am going to take the proud privilege to introduce his illustrious personality. And of course, after that, we'll have Dr. Krishna Joshi talk to us about him. I'm sharing the screen here. Dr. H.S. Bhanushali, MS, FRCS, FICS, FCCP, FIAS, FIAS, honors, honorary FMAS. These are the degrees which he has really worked hard on in those days when we could even not imagine about them. So several degrees at hand, so much experience. He developed the Kaushalya Medical Foundation Charitable Trust Hospital with 150 beds in the Thane city. Something of this sort was really unheard way back in 2000. It's one of the first multi-specialty hospitals here in Thane, and he again paved the way for a multi-specialty hospital in our city. Very proud of it. He helped to establish also the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Hospital under the Thane Municipal Corporation at Thane, where he was appointed the honorary head of the Department of Surgery and the dean of the college and hospital for nearly 2 years. And still, and after that, endless number of camps. So, 42 medical and TB camps in Thane district, 3.5 lakhs of BCG vaccination with the help of Thane Zilla Parishad and District Collectorate of Thane, 4,600 chest surgeries for pulmonary tuberculosis on poor patients in RPTB hospital under KEM Hospital as the honorary thoracic surgeon from 1966 to 1993, 12,000 general surgery operations in Mulund Municipal General Hospital for poor patients from again 1966 to 1993 as the honorary surgeon of the BMC. He was the first thoracic surgeon to perform and develop thoracoscopic surgery in India in 1992, and hence known as the father of thoracoscopy in India. Was the first Indian surgeon to perform highly selective vagotomy. Also trained junior surgeons by demonstrating at workshops all over India. Brought video-assisted thoracic surgery to India, received the B.C. Roy National Award at the hands of His Excellency Shri Pranab Mukherjee, the President of India, Gold Medal for the work in the area of highly selective vagotomy at the hands of President of India, Honorable Shri Shankar Dayal Sharma, Extraordinary Surgeons of Ordinary People, President's Choice Book released by President of India, Honorary Shri K.R. Narayanan, medal given by the hands of Honorary Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, President of India, for excellent work as the Honorary President of International College of Surgeons at Golden Jubilee Conference at Delhi. The list of awards is really endless. The Majashri Award, the Thane Bhushan Award, which is again a very respected award, the award in Thane city, the Golden Jubilee Award, Army Hospital, the Platinum Jubilee Award, GS Medical College. He's been president of the Association of Surgeons of India, and we all know the great work he has done as the president, International College of Surgeons, 2003-2004, Executive Council member, International College of Surgeons, 1996 to 2000, convener of the Thoracic Surgical Faculty of International College of Surgeons, World Body, and of course, last but not the least, postgraduate teacher in surgery for 15 years and undergrad teacher for 25 years in Mumbai University via the GS Medical College and KM Hospital, and then at the Rajiv Gandhi Medical College. The amount of work he has done for in surgery, of course, and for the people and for the underprivileged, and from where he came to really understand stories. Let's hear in from people, from his son, from the doctors who have worked with him. I would actually request Shri Krishna Joshi sir, who is, and I'll also take the privilege again to introduce him. He has more than 5 decades of experience as an anesthesiologist at various hospitals, still working in the field, and he has worked with Dr. H.S. Bhanushali closely when he worked with various hospitals. 47 years he's worked with the Kaushalya Hospital with Dr. Bhanushali, and he's also been a professor at the JJ Hospital. So, sir, we would love to hear from you about your association with Dr. Bhanushali sir, and to know more about him, definitely through you and through your eyes. Now that unfortunately we don't have him here today.
Am I audible? Am I audible,
Yes,
madam?
Yes, sir.
Madam Srijaji, thank you very much for inviting me to talk about my dear friend, Dr. Bhanushali. I congratulate the other awardees as well for receiving today's Wisdom and Excellence Award, RSG Award. I've been knowing Dr. Bhanushali since 1971 when we both joined TB Hospital, Chivdi, a very less known hospital for lung surgeries, and we have been associated ever since with that. I'm very happy to note that Dr. Bhanushali struggled very hard to learn thoracic surgery. He would finish work in Thane and Mulund and come at 1 o'clock to TB hospital and work till 8 o'clock in the night, working on the patients in the hospital for lung surgery, and then go back to Thane and start work again. He was extremely conscious about the poor patients who were coming for surgery and did everything possible for them. In Thane as well, he was very considerate to all patients. He started medical camps for various villages where the doctors would never go, and he would give lectures in vernacular languages for people to understand what kind of medical aid can be possible for them. In addition to that, medical camp also were conducted by him, and his ambition was to create a big hospital for the poor where they could afford it, and his ambition he continued all throughout with such zeal and enthusiasm that we all got involved in the same thing. We have worked together, done the worst, the best, and it's been a great association for me to be associated with him for so many years. His awards, this thing, everybody knows about them. But I must tell you that as the biggest award for any surgeon was to be the president of the Indian Association of Surgeons, which he duly was recognized, and he was the president of the. I'm very happy that I have been associated with him so many years. The memories are very short, but they are ever permanent. I was lucky to be associated with him, such a nice man all these years. Thank you very much for allowing me to talk today. Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming online on the request of Dr. Amol Bhanushali and me, or even and telling us about Dr. Bhanushali through your eyes. It's our privilege.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Next, we will actually play a video by Dr. Sanjay, who of course fortunately was associated with both Dr. Bhanushali as well as my father, Gadgil. And Dr. Sanjay actually doesn't need any introduction because he's a very renowned pediatric surgeon with more than 4 decades of practice in his field, as well, as a clinical practice as well as teaching practice. He's been dean at the TNMC Nair Hospital as we know it. He's been dean at KM. He's been vice chancellor with the D.Y. Patil University. He's been CEO at the Prince Ali Khan Hospital. He's director currently at Director of Professional Services currently at the Kaushalya Medical Foundation Trust Hospital, as well as the Pushakal Abhinam Hospital. He has endless papers, more than 250 papers. He's written more than 51 books. He has been, of course, awarded the Dr. B.C. Roy National Award in 2005 for medical excellence. And the list is really endless about his real illustrious career. And listening about Dr. Bhanushali from him, and also a few words about my father is just going to be a privilege. So we'll play the video now.
Good evening, everybody. Today, on one of the most significant days of RS Gadgil Memorial event, I wish to remember two giants, RS Gadgil himself and late Dr. Harikant Bhanushali. Both of these individuals have left an indelible imprint on my mind. I knew them for almost 3 decades, and I picked up threads of health sector management and surgery from both of them. Mr. Gadgil was not only a marketing maverick, but he was a true academician in himself. He taught his colleagues the principles of not only branding and product distribution, but also inculcated in them the feelings of oneness with the customers. It would be inappropriate to say that Mr. Gadgil treated the surgical fraternity as his clients. In fact, he treated them as his brothers and sisters. I met him when I was very young. I was just a lecturer when I first met him. And I continued to meet him till he breathed his last in Jupiter Hospital. I can, in my lifetime, never forget R.S. Gadgil for what he stood for. What can I say about the recipient of the honor, though unfortunately posthumously this year, Dr. Harikant Bhanushali. Dr. Bhanushali was like a foster father to me. I knew him since I was the registrar of KM Hospital in 86-87. And the relationship metamorphosed into a teacher and a taught, a mentor and a mentee, and then subsequently two colleagues who loved laparoscopy and were interested in the further development of thoracoscopy. What I remember and what I will never forget of Dr. Bhanushali is his humaneness. He came from Kinoli, a small town which would hardly find its place even on Thana Tehsil. But he carried that love even when he became Dr. Bhanushali. Sir left us on 18th of August last year. But even today, when I participate in the management with Amol and Samit of Kaushalya Medical Trust Foundation Hospital, we do receive patients from these interiors of Thane, Shahpur and the tribal belt. And what can I say about the patients who come from Kinoli? For them, it is their own hospital. They are not worried or ashamed of the fact that they may not have money, but in fact they are proud of the event that they have come to visit their beloved Bandhu's hospital. That is how Sir was known in and around Kinoli. I have learned surgery, I have learned precision, I have learned humanness, and most important, I have learned humble approach towards patients and relatives from Dr. H.S. Bhanushali. I will truly remain indebted to him throughout my life. Thank you.
What can I say that this video says it all. I mean, I think couldn't have been expressed any better. And I think Dr. Oak has joined us. So we just played your video, and I have no words. I mean, you have expressed, you have spoken about both of them to the point. You said everything. I mean, we're so happy, and Dr. Amol and Madam will completely agree. They are here in the same frame with us. If you would like to say anything, sir. Fakt unmute kara. You'll have to unmute, sir.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm actually in transit from Pune to Mumbai. No, I mean, whatever I said came right from my heart rather than from my head. Because in every person's life, there are some moments and there are some mammoth individuals like Dr. Gadgil and Dr. Bhanushali who touch your core essence of existence. And they actually tell you why you should exist, what you should do, and for whom you should work. I think these three important questions, answers to these questions I got from your father and Dr. Bhanushali. I mean, both very, very, very illustrious personalities. And I consider myself truly blessed to have known them. Incidentally, I knew both of them through conferences. Then Dr. Bhanushali was like my father. I mean, we are a family. And you are no different outsider. You are an extended family member to me, Samip and Amol. And therefore, I think whatever we say today, it truly comes from the bottom of my heart. I mean, nothing more to say on this.
And Dr. Amol, I think we both are super privileged, isn't it? I think we have to thank the Almighty for whatever we are born to these great people, and we work with such great people like Dr. Hook, and Madam is right next to you. So, Amol, it is really your stage now to express yourself, and whatever Madam na je kai bola to we want you to express all that you want to. We are I won't say we are unfortunate that Sir आज इतने नहीं yet, but we decide to celebrate his life, and That's why I insisted that we chose today's day so that we can start celebrating Sir and like we celebrate my father every year. I'm a little speechless. Please go ahead. The stage is yours.
Absolutely, you just echoed my sentiments. I was just about to start with thanking the Almighty for me being able to be the son of Dr. H.S. Bhanushali, and I mean, uh, as a son, all I can say is that the most important thing, if today I look back at my life with him, the most important thing I would say is that he not only brought me up as a to become a surgeon who I am today, but made sure that he tried his best to keep me grounded at each and every step of life. So, as they say, uh, probably I was born with a silver spoon, and everything was just available. I in fact, we used to building earlier, and rounds with him probably as a kid. And there were times when I've played in the gardens of TB hospital when he used to just take me along during my vacations or something for rounds. But at each and every step of life, I think what is the most important thing that he pointed towards was patient care. Patient always comes first. Everything else just doesn't matter. You have to strive as much as possible time. That was his that was really important for him, and that was really important for the hospitals he worked in. So both Bhanushali Hospital and Kaushalya have imbibed that culture, and we try to live it up to it today itself. That when a patient walks into the hospital in the minimum possible time, and at that and earlier with the minimum possible investigations, you have to arrive at the correct diagnosis, and the patient should get this treatment started within the least possible time, and leave no stone unturned to have that patient uh, cured and walk out of the hospital. So patient always came first for him, may it be any day of the year, any time of the day, and that is what he always tried to imbibe in me as a surgeon, as a doctor, and as a surgeon. So that is why I think I should once again thank Almighty for uh, blessing me with such a great role model, who the entire not just the country, but even our people outside the country look up to. And imagine having that personality as your father and with you for so many years. So, and as you said, yes, we say it is unfortunate that we lost him last year, but he did live a very fulfilling life. So it's really important to uh, uh, try and as much as celebrate his life. So and similarly, your father as well. I remember in the good old days when Baba was actively involved with Massicon, especially the Maharashtra State Chapter Surgeons Conference, and that was one conference which was very close to his heart, being the founder trustee of Thane Surgical Society, and being the organizing secretary and then the chairman for 4 of these conferences. And I think in these conferences, my father and your father, late Dr. Gadgil, I think they came closer, and that is when Dr. Gadgil, as a as a very, very senior pharma person, extended so much of support and in all these conferences, and they really came close. And I'm sure I remember him, Baba always used to tell me that he made sure that the doctor fraternity or the surgical fraternity got all possible support from his side, maybe anything from a smallest new drug to arranging the biggest conference or anything for that matter. So that was a very close association that they had. And I'm glad that today on this platform, you have decided to honor Dad Baba posthumously with this RSG Wisdom Excellence Award. And so I would really like to thank you and the entire committee for this award for him. I also would like to congratulate all the other award winners. I'm sure each of them is a stalwart in their field and most deserving for this award. Thank you.
So, Dr. Amol, you're also taking this forward with Dr. Oak's strong guidance. You're taking Kaushalya 2.0 forward. And of course, a lot of initiatives at the Bhanushali hospital as well, where you're running a lot of dedicated. You have a dedicated center for lung surgery. Through these ways, you've of course, like you said, you've trained and learned at different universities abroad here, and you've been practicing at the most well-known hospitals in Mumbai as well, and these two major hospitals at Thane. So big congratulations to you on that. And like Dr. Oak said, we are all family and we have to work harder towards taking Sir's legacy forward in the bestest way that we can. And we will.
That is what we are trying hard each and every day to continue his legacy, continue the kind of work in not just the field of medicine overall, but especially thoracic surgery, which is a niche branch, and especially his passion is what I've tried to continue operating for TB patients. So even Krishna Kaka, as I would fondly call him, but Dr. Shri Krishna Joshi for everyone, who has been the anesthetist in most of the thoracic surgeries which Baba did, and even few of them which I did later on. He used to join us all the way from Vadala. I used to come to Thane at least twice a week and join us and give us excellent support at the head end. And even today, I am really fortunate to continue to associate with him. At this age, he still keeps coming to the TB hospital for continuing that work and continuing thoracic surgery as a field in the form of a dedicated center for lung surgery is what I'm trying to continue and trying to achieve.
Very, very few would know and appreciate that, how hard it is to actually do surgeries in patients with tuberculosis and how much of risk even the doctors are at. But, your father kept doing it relentlessly and you're keeping on with it. We're really proud of you as well. You know that. But we would also like Madam to say she was recently awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award at the by the Gynecological Society. She herself also has been a great inspiration for all of us. But if she can say a few words or whatever she wants to express here today about Sir.
Dr. Bhanushali's dream to have a charitable hospital that he started. Now it is 150-bedded Kaushalya Medical Foundation Trust Hospital. But that time, he used to go in Thane district, different villages, and have a camp, what Dr. Joshi said. And he was very much, in a sense, attached to his work. anytime you find him, he's in operation theater. So now Amol and Dr. Samir and Dr. Sanjay Oak, mainly he is very much this thing to us, support, main support of Dr. Sanjay Oak. And Mr. Gadgil, now I must say a few words about Mr. Gadgil. He used to be they used to be very close and they used to respect each other. And because of love and affection, and his help, always his help for different conferences he has organized, Maharashtra Surgeons Conferences, 4 conferences he organized in Thane. So that was a great help by Mr. Gadgil. So I would say, I must say thank you to RSG Association and for giving a Wisdom and Excellence Award to Dr. Bhanushali. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Unless anyone, if anyone of you wants to add anything, please do so while we will present the award virtually. And then, of course, I'm going to bring the plaque into the hospital soon.
Hi, conference.
Rajesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my video doesn't start, but
yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah, that is Dr. Rekha Bhatkande for all of us. She's the dean, of course, at the.
I'm Dr. Rekha Bhatkande. Yeah, and I'm currently back being the dean of Shushusha Hospital. So I would love to, bring up the old memories of Dr. Bhanushali when he introduced thoracoscopy in Shushusha Hospital. And one thing that I must tell you, Amol, about your father is that, people are talking about mindfulness now, but your father was one of the first people to actually, live. He was so mindful, manners, mindfulness. I mean, we learned from him. And that's, beyond what everyone learned in his surgical techniques and his precision and all that. But, just this, how to talk to people, how to be so grounded, how to be practical. So, I mean, I'd love to tell mother this, that we at Shushusha really learned a lot from Dr. Bhanushali. Thank you.
I'm also, ma'am, we are presenting the award here on screen to sir. I don't think after what Dr. Oak has said, there is anything to be said really, and after what ma'am has expressed, we are very fortunate to know Dr. Bhanushali, and we as a city are very fortunate that he ever started a hospital for us, and he really paved the way for excellence in medical practice for the city. So his contribution to Thane city, it's like it's carved forever. So he's the man when we talk about medical service in Thane. And a lot of Thanetes, of course, know about it, but we should keep on and on taking his legacy and his memories and his teachings forward. Amol, that's a promise we both have to keep, and no matter what, we keep doing programs and we keep remembering him, and we keep sharing all his teachings how much ever we can. Thank you so much for joining us. Ma'am, thank you so much for joining and expressing your thoughts. It means a lot to us.
Thank you.
I would also like to thank Dr. Rekha Bhatkande madam for her kind words and for joining today and expressing her sentiments about Baba.
With this moment and this illustrious presentation to an illustrious larger than life personality, we actually come to an end of this beautiful RSG Wisdom and Excellence. It's the 7th award celebration on the 77th birth anniversary of my father. I don't think his birth anniversary or his life could have been celebrated any better than what we did today. And I'm so happy and privileged that all the awardees and all the family members and the associated doctors and the audience joined in here. A lot of us joined in Zoom, but there were a lot who actually have been sending us messages because they have been watching us online. I can't express my thoughts enough, but from the bottom of our heart, from me, my family, my mother, my daughter, my team, all of us, we express our gratitude, and we express our gratitude for accepting the award, but also what you have been doing for the entire society and all that you've been doing in the medical practice. This actually really motivates all of us, all of the doctors, to keep doing what they're doing. We here as TRUWELLTH, or even if we don't name the organizations, we are here to support anything and everything, just as Baba supported academics and medicine. We will continue doing that till the moment that we can. Thank you so much for joining us, all of you. Take your leave. We will be going offline in a moment. If anyone would like to express the thoughts after that, you can stay into the Zoom and express yourselves. Thank you. We will play the video of course, RSG ENERGYA, who has been supporting us relentlessly, the team in showcasing and doing 500+ programs for the patients, and of course, the awards event as well.